Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the JRPG Report. This is episode 213, and I am your new host, Dalton Suter. Nice to meet you all, for those of you who are hearing my voice for the first time, and if you've heard me on some Sunday specials with James, or the little interviews I've done here and there, then hello again. And I hope you all are doing well. I wanted to go ahead and get this out in the beginning. I wanted to give James a special thank you for the years of content and laughs and news that he's brought us all. I personally have been a fan of this show for a long time, so it really warmed my heart and honored me that he asked me to take over the reins for him. So I hope that I hope that you all like it. I hope that everyone continues to listen, and I'm going to do my absolute best to carry on the flag for him and keep this show the way that you all love it. And if there's things that you would like to hear, some maybe new segments or anything kind of like that, you just let me know. I am open to suggestion. But mainly, first and foremost, I am here to carry the flagship and make sure you guys get your JRPG news. And so shout out to James, and believe me, I'm going to be bugging James to come join me on some Sunday specials, so that you'll hear from him again. I promise. I will bug him to come say hello every now and then. But I just wanted to get that out in the beginning and thank him for everything, and kind of give myself a little introduction. And I hope this isn't too weird for everyone. I know some people don't like change, so I will try to make this as painless of a transition as possible. But that being said, let's jump right into some news. First up, we have some Monster Hunter Rise news, and it's Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Arena Quest Handler introduced. Capcom has been introducing various Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion characters, and the latest one will fill a rather important role. If you head to the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Arena, you will meet the new quest handler, Master Arlo. It seems that this is Elgato's Outpost Hunting Tactics instructor and arena quest holder, Master Arlo. Fioraine and her sister, Rondine, have also trained under his guidance. A master of the gun lance, he is researching ways to improve Hail Cutter's cooldown effect. And that is from the official Monster Hunter Twitter. And this article goes on to say that the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Arena quest handler might sound familiar. Keith Silverstein is the English actor behind him, and he has appeared in a number of major games and anime series lately. For example, he plays Zhongli in Genshin Impact and Masayoshi Shido in Persona 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I do know him then. He showed up in Beastars as Goshin, BNA as Gem, and Dorohedoro as In, and The Way of the Household as Nagai. Capcom has been gradually showing new Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak characters. For example, Sergei and Dame Luchika. I think I said that right. It might be Dame Luchika. I'm not really sure. They showed up the last time they did a reveal. Monster Hunter Rise is available for Switch and PC, and the Sunbreak expansion arrives on June 30th, 2022. I gotta say, the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Arena quest handler, that is a lot to say. That is a mouthful, for sure. But moving on from Monster Hunter, we have some Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy news. The Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy demo expiration date has been extended. People will have more time to play Strangers of Paradise. The trial was supposed to end on April 19th, 2022. However, people now get more time. It will now be around until about May 31st, 2022. Square Enix announced the demo will be available for another month or so on consoles. As a reminder, this is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin demo. It consists of the early portion of the game. People can go through the first 3 stages of it. There's also multiplayer functionality for the demo, so folks can see what it's like to play through these stages with other people. That's pretty cool. Multiplayer does allow for crossplay, though someone with a PS5 can only play with other PS4 and PS5 owners, and Xbox Series X folks can only play with people who have that or an Xbox One. Is that really crossplay then? I mean, I guess it is kind of, but I don't know. I hear crossplay, I think cross-system play, personally. But yeah, this isn't the first time that Strangers of Paradise had a limited time demo. The very first one was around only briefly too. It showed up back on June 15th, 2021 as part of the E3 2021 and General Summer Game Fest event window. That trial ended up being extended as well. Rather than disappearing later in June 2022, it stuck around until July 2nd of 2021. Oh yeah, I think they meant June 2021 here. Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is available for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and the PC. And you can go and play the demo until May 31st, 2022. Well, that's pretty cool. I will admit I have not checked out Strangers of Paradise yet. It does look interesting. The combat looks interesting, but I'm of the mind, like, I don't know. I really enjoy the turn-based Final Fantasy games a lot. I mean, no shade towards 15, because I do appreciate 15 for what it is, but I just really want another turn-based Final Fantasy game. And I guess I'm just going to have to continue getting that from Dragon Quest, or hopefully. I know Dragon Quest 12, we'll see. I have high hopes. We'll just say that. On to some other news. Digimon Survive. Now, I'm going to be piecing this together from these two articles, but it is coming to the West, and it has been confirmed for Switch, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC. The April 2022 edition of V-Jump said that Digimon Survive release date would be July 28th, 2022. Now there's a more official confirmation direct from Bandai Namco. A new video starring producer Kazumasa Habu appeared, and in it, he confirmed the launch date and noted that Digimon Survive will show up on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. And just personal note, that's awesome. I love when a game comes out and it comes out for everything, so everybody has a chance to enjoy it, man. It's just so wonderful to me. Especially, like, sometimes, PC players have to wait, and being a PC player personally, I mean, I don't mind waiting, but I'm always happy when there's a worldwide release for all ways to play at the same time, because then no one has to play the waiting game. You don't have to worry about possibly seeing spoilers if you just want to get it day one and play. So kudos to them for that. Back when Digimon Survive was first announced in July 2018, the PS4 and Switch versions were confirmed. But however, after that initial announcement, Bandai Namco noted that it would come to other platforms outside of Japan. Both the Xbox One and PC were mentioned. Following the V-Jump leak, Xbox and PC versions weren't noted just yet. And there is a video on YouTube that is a producer's message. It looks like it's on the Bandai Namco official YouTube. So if you'd like to see this, it's all under a minute, but if you'd like to see this little interview, it is there on YouTube if that is something that interests you. But while there's still a lot to learn, some details have come up. For example, Habu appeared at the Digimon Con 2022. Man, I'm having a hard time saying 2022 today. During a segment about the games, he discussed the title's themes. He mentioned that this will be a darker game with its characters attempting to survive potentially deadly situations. That is intriguing. So Digimon Survive will show up for Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC on July 28th, 2022. Hey, I got it out that time without stuttering. Awesome. And up next, we have some more info about Dragon Quest X Offline. They released some details about the Magic Labyrinths. In the world of Dragon Quest X Rise of the Five Tribes Offline exists mysterious locations known as Magic Labyrinths. You can enter these labyrinths using special coins obtained as you progress through the game and fight the labyrinth lords according to the content of the coins. The monsters that appear as labyrinth lords are fairly strong, but if you defeat them, you can receive a magnificent reward. And also, you can level up and farm gold inside of the Magic Labyrinths. It says the monsters that appear in the Labyrinth Lords, the monsters that appear as Labyrinth Lords are diverse, and some will earn you a vast amount of experience points and gold when defeated. It is the perfect place to level up and earn gold to prepare for battles against more difficult foes. And there is a picture of the party fighting a King Metal Slime, and I can't wait to fight some of those. Popular monsters from previous Dragon Quest games appear. Below are some of the examples of the labyrinth lords that will appear in the magic labyrinths. And there is just pictures of your classic Dragon Quest characters. It looks like, and I hope this isn't considered spoilers for anyone, but it looks like with the luminaries of the legendary line coin, you can fight Atlas, Pazuzu, and Abeliel, a team of monsters that first appeared in Dragon Quest II, Luminaries of the Legendary Line. The Archfiend Baramos, who conquered the overworld in Dragon Quest III Seeds of Salvation, can burn your party to ashes with the flames of its purgatory pyre. Marquis de Leon and Jamaris from Dragon Quest IV also appear in the labyrinths. Gracchus, who appeared as one of the 4 dread fiends and the ruler of the seas in Dragon Quest IV Realms of Revelations, can also show up in the labyrinth. And it looks like Dragon Quest X Rise of the Five Tribes Offline is due out for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC via Steam this summer in Japan. And fingers crossed that we get a Western release of that, because I really wanted to play it when it was an MMO in Japan, and it never came over here, unfortunately. So I really hope that we at least get to play the offline version, or someone makes an English translation for it. That would be lovely as well. On some MMO news, on a sadder note, and I believe that this game is JRPG related. If not, I do apologize. But Terra, online global shutdown set for June 2022. The Adventure Ends is the title of the latest blog update from Gameforge, publisher of the global edition of the MMORPG Terra. It's bad news, though. A total shutdown of the game is on the cards and scheduled to take effect on June 30th, 2022. As Gameforge is the last remaining publisher for Terra and manages the game's European, North American, Russian, and Southeast Asian editions, this means that the game will effectively end everywhere when the time comes. The Japanese edition of Terra ended service on April 20th, 2022. According to the blog post, the global Terra shutdown comes as a consequence of developer South Korean-based Bluehole. Oh, okay, I guess it's a South Korean game. Apologies, everyone. Deciding to cease all work on the game without the ability to support the game or develop new content. Gameforge, quote, must respect Bluehole's decision, unquote, and end service entirely. Until the day of shutdown, though, Terra global servers will remain active with permanent events that allow the remaining players to, quote, enjoy these final months in Arborea. An FAQ page published alongside the announcement detailed some of the Terra global shutdown phases. The game will operate normally until May 31st, 2022, at which point new account registration and the ability to buy a premium currency called Thalers? Oh, it's a strange term. And the Terra Club service will be disabled. Players who have Thalers to spare can spend them until the servers shut down. No refunds for remaining currency will be issued. However, players with a long-term membership extending past the shutdown date may be eligible for a partial refund. Players can still use their Gameforge accounts to play other published titles like Nostale. And finally, all of Gameforge managed channels, websites, and social media accounts for Terra Global will be closed shortly after the shutdown. That is sad. Terra was very innovative in the combat for MMORPGs, and it's just it's sad to see it go. You know, it's very sad to see it go. I've actually been playing Final Fantasy XI recently, and I'm surprised that Final Fantasy XI has outlived Terra. I really am. Not saying anything bad against Final Fantasy XI because that's a great game, but I don't know. It's just it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But on to some better news, and the news that is going to wrap up this first episode, which there wasn't a lot of news this week, but I definitely wanted to get an episode out for everyone, and do the introduction, and just to give you something to have until next week when I've got a whole week of bearings about me and all of that. So, but this final thing, it's big. Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 launches July 29th. It got moved up. When does that ever happen? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will launch for Switch on July 29th, earlier than its previously planned September release window, publisher Nintendo and developer Monolith Soft announced. A special edition will also be available via the My Nintendo store, which includes package artwork illustrated by Masatsugu Saito, I think I said that right. If I didn't, I probably butchered it. I apologize. A full color hardcover artwork book spanning over 250 pages and a steel case. More details about the special edition will be announced at a later date. Yes, the latest entry in the long-running role-playing series, which connects the futures to the two previous mainline Xenoblade Chronicles games, invites players to embark on an epic adventure filled with quote-unquote life as its central theme. In the game, players step into the roles of protagonists Noah and Mio amid turmoil between the nations of Kivis and Agnes. Apologies if I pronounced those wrong. 6 characters hailing from those nations join forces to learn the truth behind their conflict and set their sights for Swordsmarch, a land pierced by a giant sword. The new trailer for the game reveals the background of the group's journey in Ionios. Man, I really need to get around to playing these games. Honestly, I do, so I can learn to pronounce these. Ionios, in a vast and sublime natural world, and reveals new details about the battle system. You can battle with up to 7 characters. Like in previous Xenoblade Chronicles games, battles start by facing enemies directly in the overworld. Players can control Noah's party of 6, as well as additional characters they'll meet during the adventure. Each character has their own role in battle, which allows for diverse strategies. Class changes. Noah is a sword fighter, specializing in close-range attacks, while Mio is a Zephyr, drawing enemy attention while evading their strikes. Thus, each character has their own class with their own strengths. Progressing in the adventure, players can change characters' classes, creating a customized party. And there is a new interlink system. Each of the tag team pairs, Noah and Mio, Lance, Sina, Uni, and Tyon, can make use of the interlink system if certain conditions are met. They will combine into a giant form called Ouroboros, and each Ouroboros has its own powerful moveset. Deciding when to transform can be the key to winning a battle. And so here's some additional details. Bringing together the futures of Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, this title will take the players into the world of Aeonios, home to the 2 hostile nations. Kivis, a nation where mechanical technology was developed. Their army is composed of units consisting mainly of combat vehicles. They use units of small mobile weapons operated by soldiers riding them. And Agnes, a nation strong in ether, a magical technology. Their forces are built around units that specialize in either combat, and they fight with small, or in ether combat. Their forces are built around units that specialize in ether combat, and they fight with small, mobile, autonomous weapons that use ether technology. 6 soldiers hailing from these nations join forces to learn the truth behind their conflicts, setting their sights for Swordsmarch, a land pierced by a giant sword. Noah, who is the protagonist of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and a soldier of Kiev's. Noah also is an Offseer who mourns for soldiers who've lost their lives on the battlefield. Lance, an ally of Noah's who wields a great sword that doubles as a shield. That sounds awesome. Uni, a childhood friend of Noah and Lance who has a sharp tongue and a rough personality. She specializes in healing her allies in battle. Mio, the other protagonist of this story. Mio is a soldier of Agnes and an Offseer like Noah. Tyon is a tactician who fights alongside Mio using his smarts and insight. And Sina, this soldier, is an ally of Mio and Tyon. Despite her petite figure, Sina wields immense physical strength. Like in previous Xenoblade Chronicles games, battles start by facing enemies directly in the overworld. With 6 characters in your party, you will need to use each soldier's strength to your advantage by taking into account their position relative to the enemy. Characters you befriend on your adventure can also join you in battle, further increasing your strategic capabilities. And as you progress through, customize your party by changing characters' classes to better suit the situation at hand. If certain conditions are met during battle, each of the tag team pairs, Noah and Mio, Lance and Sina, Uni and Tyon, can combine... Oh, yes, I think this is the same paragraph that they had earlier. Yeah, why would they put that twice in the article? Strange. Anyways, they did release more information about the Ouroboros. They released some details on those, so let's get into that really quick. When Nintendo offered a new release date for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it is also noted that characters can interlink to form an Ouroboros to fight. Now the company has offered a few more details about the feature. Some of the main party's pairs were named, and there are also Xenoblade Chronicles 3 screenshots of new units. The first initial tweet showed Noah and Mio interlinking to create their Ouroboros in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They are the main protagonists. They are also Offseers from the opposing sides. Yes. We just discussed that in the last one, so I won't read over that for you again. The 4 additional Xenoblade Chronicle 3 screenshots show different various stages of interlinking. 2 focused on Noah and Mio. 1, we see 2 of them in a golden space together. Another shows them paired up as their Ouroboros, which looks awesome. I recommend that to everyone to go check these screenshots out. I believe on the Nintendo Twitter. And then all 3 Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Ouroboros are shown. In the middle form is Noah and Mio come together to make theirs, and the other 2 show Lan's and Cena's form and Uni and Terran's unit. People will be seeing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 much sooner than expected, like we talked about earlier, and I'm stoked for Xenoblade Chronicles fans, honestly. I really am. That almost never happens when you hear that a game gets pushed up. We're so used to this, this day and age being like, oh, we have to push it back. We have to push it back. It's going to be another year. This time they were like, nah, we're gonna move it up a couple months. Everybody, we need something, and they are giving us that something. In fact, I think when I finish this episode, I'm going to go buy the first Xenoblade Chronicles, and I'm going to dive in on Switch. So I will report back periodically on how I'm feeling about that game, because I've heard nothing but good from James and some other wonderful people in the JRPG Report community. And I'd like to dive into that world. It seems right up my alley. But yeah, that's about all the news that I could find. I do apologize. It's kind of a shorter episode, but like I said, I did want to get something out for you guys this week and just kind of break the ice. I do appreciate you all listening. I hope you stick around with me as we continue the JRPG news goodness. And please, by all means, write me on Twitter, on Facebook. I have taken over the social medias, so I'll still be there. You can write me, give me ideas, suggestions. If you want to pop on a Sunday special and have a chat about a game, just approach me. Let me know. I'm an approachable guy, I promise. So I will be here. And before I ramble too much, because I was nervous about doing this, I won't lie to all of you, even though I do 2 other podcasts, which I'll quickly plug. Warning, they are not family friendly. Like I'm going to keep this show family friendly, I promise. But my other 2, they're not so much. But if you are inclined to check them out, I do a podcast called the Steam Machine Podcast, and that is where 2 buddies and me bi-weekly cover a game from my incredibly massive PC backlog. And I mean, I own way too many games on PC. Way too many. Humble Bundle and Fanatical.com, they got me. And a lot of those games are JRPGs, so I can't wait to bring up when I'm playing a JRPG and for the show, and I can kind of give my opinions on here for you guys as well. Like one of the games that we have coming up that was chosen by our fans is Final Fantasy VII. So that'll be really fun because I've never actually beaten Final Fantasy VII. I owned 8 and 9, but I did not have 7. My buddy had 7, but he loved it too much to let me borrow, which I completely understand. So I look forward to finally beating that game because I love 8, I love 9, I love 10, I love all the Final Fantasy games really that I've played. So I really hope that I do and love that too, because then I can finally play the remake and see what that's all about, because I hear people raving about that, but I just told myself I'm not going to play that till I beat the original, so I know what's going on. So that's where I'm at with that. And my other podcast is called Yabs Pod, yet another BS podcast. I'll probably plug that this time, and I probably won't plug it again on here because it is a very not safe for work type show, or vulgar, I should say. It's a very vulgar show, and it's just probably not your cup of tea. Anyways, me and my buddy Jeremy, though, we take questions from the audience, and we answer them every week, and just other topics that we decide to come up with. It's just kind of us, bulling around for a while. But yeah, anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. What is a man but a miserable pile of secrets? I don't know. Anyways, guys, this has been episode 213 of the JRPG Report. Thank you for welcoming me into your ears and into your homes, and I hope that I can carry on this flagship for James and make him proud. And to all of you listeners out there, thank you, and get out there and level up.